graduated high school in 2008, and I went for a year of college, and it was a hard year for me. I just had no purpose. I didn't feel like there was a meaning for me to be taking these classes, and I looked for I guess love and acceptance in my friends and in finding who I was in the classes I took, but those things were all very empty. And I felt that, but I didn't know how to deal with it. And at that time, I really was not following God at all, and I was really just relying on myself, trying to figure things out for myself, and it left me empty and just dark. And after coming here, that from almost the very beginning, that really started to change. We went on a hiking trip, and it was a challenge. It was a physical challenge, an emotional challenge, and a spiritual challenge too. I had lived my whole year at school with computers and TV and friends and people all over, and then here we go on this trip and we hike all day in God's creation. And that was an adventure and a huge challenge for me. And I was challenged to rely on God through that. That is not an easy thing to do when you have spent a year and actually many years of my life trying to fight my own problems. At that point, I was starting to really have this desire. God was just growing this desire in me to follow Him. But I also recognized that I keep on failing. And then God showed me about the Holy Spirit, and I learned that He is in us. And He fills us, and that is the only reason why I am able to be joyful and loving to other people. And it's because I have the Holy Spirit in me. Learning about the Holy Spirit transformed the way I think about God, the way I see God. That was really, really important to not only know what I believe, but to have depth to that, and to really study that and not just have it be these shallow beliefs. And so that was very important. And then we started to talk about calling. And that calling is kind of an intimidating word. And as I started to learn about who God was, He started to reveal to me about who He's created me to be, and what my purpose is specifically. The compassion that I have for those who are suffering, as I feel that and live that out in what I do, there's hope for those people who are suffering. And I think everybody has suffering in their life, and just to know that there's hope, and that even though I will never be able to make everything just in the world, that God will redeem people and give them justice, because that's who He is. One of the things that was most impactful for me this year was the community that we had. And by community, I mean real relationships. To know that other people think the way I do and struggle with the same things, and that's what God intended. That's what He intended for us to live, relying on each other, and ultimately with the purpose of relying on Him and glorifying Him. But we were meant to live in this life alone and individualistically, and just, we are meant to share struggles. I felt with a lot of relationships I have had in the past, there's barriers that are put up. It's you share some of your life, but never share it all. Never share your trials, or never share times where you've struggled. You have to. It's like it's a friendship, but I'm only going to share so much. Like, I have to protect myself. I have to even be fake. But I don't know how. It was definitely God who created a community that was real, and that we could be genuine with each other. And that made a huge impact, because that is not like anything else I've ever experienced.